Hey there, everyone. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur, coming at you tonight. It is great to be with you once again on IFYL Inspirations for Your Life. I am so glad to be with you guys and talk with you because there's lots of great stuff that I want to share with you. And so, if you are coming to my channel and you're new, you're going to notice that on the top right hand corner of your screen just popped up a QR code. Use your phone, point to it, scan the QR code. They'll transport you over to my link tree. If you're having any problem getting there, just type in your browser believemeachieve.com. Definitely check out John's Daily National Day video, the first top button, and then JCM Academy TikTok. There's so many other great things like the Science Channel, Science Fridays with John. There's Super Motivational Friday, and there's a JCM Academy with coaching. So check out all this stuff. There's lots of stuff there. Every week we have a master topic that starts on Saturday, ends on Friday. Well, today is Friday, August 5th, Friday, and we are ending the master topic that I'm going to pop up in just a second. But if you're coming back, welcome back, my friends, colleagues, and wonderful associates. It's so nice to have you guys here with me. And thank you so much for supporting me all the time. And hopefully some of the new people will become loyal just like you. Really appreciate that. Our master topic for today is, ladies and gentlemen, how to kickstart your day. All right. We've been talking about kickstarting your day pretty much all week. And so when we think about, kickstarting your day, I think the biggest thing that a lot of people don't realize is that you can kickstart your day in a lot of different ways, right? We started learning about this before. And when you think about how we're actually going to kickstart our day, we said there's a lot of things we can do, right? We can talk about different things that happen in our life. We talked about the fact that we have to suit up every day, right? We definitely talked about that. And so, when we think about these things, I think the biggest thing to understand is that, you know, it is a process, right? It definitely is a process. And things don't just happen automatically. So we have to be in a certain mind frame that actually will support what we're talking about, right? That's probably the most important thing. If we don't support what we have, then what happens is we basically become a little bit out of sync and we're not in balance. We don't have that ebb and flow. We talked about the fact that we have to have a good breakfast every morning. We talked about lots of things. We talked about how you should start your day with a regimen, right? Making sure that you understand your schedule. And if you don't understand your schedule, well, then that's a big problem, right? We have to definitely understand our schedule, and when we do that, it just makes things so easy for us, right? It makes things really, really easy for us. But I think the biggest problem that a lot of people will find is that they just don't get it because whatever reason they don't get it, and I think it's because they're trying to do something. Then what happens is they're trying to do it the way somebody else has told them to do it, right? So when we say how to jumpstart our day or kickstart our day, if we don't have enough passion or a big why to what we're going to be doing for the day, we're going to sizzle out just like we would if we didn't have a good breakfast, right? I think that's really critical. But for some reason, a lot of people think it's okay to take short steps, right? And do what you want to do because you think that everything's just going to balance out. But we have to have a little bit of plan. I mean, we have to have some faith in the universe and things like that. We have to suit up properly, right? Like I said, mental suiting up, making sure we're ready for everything that we're doing. And if we're not really ready for everything we're doing, well, then that could be a really big, big problem. How else do we jumpstart our day? Well, maybe we're going to listen to music in the morning. Again, conditioning our body. We take a good shower. We do some exercises. We talk about the fact of having good nutrition. We talk about the fact of taking care of our body. We also talked about the fact preparing for our day. Preparing for our day and knowing that if it takes X minutes to get somewhere, we're not going to allow X minutes. We're going to take more time so that we actually understand that it does take time for us to actually do what we want to do. And so that we don't try to cram that into like 5 minutes, right? And I think that's the biggest problem is we have to have respect for ourselves and we have to have respect for others, ladies and gentlemen. If we don't have respect for ourselves and we don't have respect for others, well, then we become extremely frustrated with ourselves and maybe we take it out on other people. So another thing to understand when we talk about jumpstarting our day, this is a way of making sure that our mind, our body is in the highest peak pinnacle state that it can be in. And if we don't tone ourselves to be like that, then we're just not going to act in the most efficient manner. We're not going to act in the most efficient manner. And so acting in an efficient manner might seem very easy. It might seem, very simple. But the truth of the matter is, if we don't understand our body and how it works, then we're going to be very, very disappointed with life. You heard me. I said very disappointed with life. And so if we're very disappointed with life, that means that we as people are going to be striving for something a little bit better in our life. And, there's nothing wrong with striving for something better, but we have to make sure that our mindset is in the right frame all the time. If it's not in the right frame, then we can have issues, right? So jumpstarting our day is, it's simple, a way of understanding to prime our pump. If we have a pump, which you've probably all seen before, a pump takes one liquid from one place to another. Let's think of a swimming pool. Many of you have been in a swimming pool before, and you know how a pump basically works in a swimming pool. It takes the water usually out from the main drain and also from the side, sucks it down, brings it back to the filter, returns it back through the inlines, which is usually through the inlets in the side of the pool, and also through the skimmer basket, right? But I think the biggest challenge is that when this happens, people don't understand how it works. So a pump doesn't just work. You put water in the pool and you turn the pump, it's not going to work. You have to prime the pump with some water first. And now the newer pumps don't need as much water, but you need to prime the pump. So in your life, you have to make sure that you primed yourself so that you don't run dry during the day. I think this is a big problem that happens with lots of people. And lots of people out there have this issue. And there's nothing wrong with the issue. It's just the fact that they have the issue. And so if they have the issue, then how is it that we are supposed to move forward, right? I know that might sound, I think, a little quirky to some people, but the truth of the matter is, it's how it works. It's how it works. Because if you can understand how our life is every single day, right? And if we can understand how our life works, right? And we can understand from how our life works to what's going on, well, now we have a better appreciation for how things should work. That's right. I said the word should work. Okay. So, should work is not a hard concept to comprehend, right? But by should working, we're talking about the fact that our lives revolve around a paradigm. Okay, and they revolve around this paradigm that helps us become better versions of ourselves. That's really the truth. That's how it all works. It's a really simple concept, but some people just don't get it. They don't understand what's happening or why something is happening the way it is. And there's nothing wrong with what people are doing. It's just that things are happening, let's say, a little bit differently than the way they expected. And the reason that this happens, ladies and gentlemen, is because people get so excited that things are going to happen the way they want. I think there's nothing wrong with that. But when they get so excited in the way things are going to happen, it causes this challenge in our life. All right. And the challenge happens because we run out of steam. We run out of steam. I mean, that's not a hard thing to understand, right? But we run out of steam. And so if we run out of steam, then it's like, how do we get reprimed again? I mean, I think that's the understanding. How do we get reprimed again? And that might sound, I don't know, a little bit quirky, but it's not. It's about you understanding that life has to work a certain way. It has to work a certain way. And if life works a certain way, then our life can be really amazing. I mean, really amazing. So, thinking about your life for just a moment, all right? And understanding how your life functions, right? How does your life function? And I think if you understand how your life functions, you probably will be more understanding to why it doesn't work a certain way. And the reason it doesn't work a certain way is because you get hooked into a belief that's actually wrong. That's right. I said a belief that's actually wrong. Now that sounds like crazy, but it's not. It's not. It is the fact that you have to understand that by knowing how our life should operate, it's then that we're able to make a big difference in our life. Okay? And I mean a major difference in our life. But for whatever reason, some people just don't think that they can do that. It's not that they're wrong. It's really the fact that they're in this belief. They're in this belief. And by being in this belief, they suddenly have this premonition about how the way life is supposed to work. But life doesn't work that way because you think it works that way, but it doesn't. And so, how do we get people to go from one belief to another belief when things are so like confusing? Again, we have to prime the pump. Now, we don't put water or liquid in our bodies, obviously, for that kind of way. But what we're doing is we're priming it with energy, with thoughts. And certain thoughts attract other thoughts, and those attracts other thoughts. And then from there, well, you know what happens? You get more thoughts, and those thoughts attract other thoughts. So a wise person once said to me, John, try to think about something positively for just 7 seconds. Okay? And once you've done that, think about the thought again for another 7 seconds. And when you do this, you're going to be like, wow, this is like freaking amazing. Like, how does this even work? And I think the biggest thing you have to understand is that when you have the right type of things, then you are able to keep that pump reprimed every single day of your life. I mean, every single day. Some people come in and, they start, and then in the middle of the job, they pull out because they're like, I can't do this. And maybe it's because they get scared, or maybe because they've never done this before and they just stop, like they freeze. But usually the reason somebody has a problem, it's because of their mind and because of their beliefs. So if we suit up correctly every single day, we prime our pump, we do our exercises. I do my planks. We have our breakfast. We have take a good shower. We get dressed. We look good, right? We're all ready to go. We've planned our day. We have our time. We have things researched, so we plan for extra things that may happen, so that we're right on track with stuff. And when we do this, our life literally just changes. But you might say to me, John, how does that even happen? Well, it happens because you are trying to figure something out. Okay. And when you try to figure something out, it just works, right? It just works. But for whatever reason, when you don't believe in yourself, then things they don't work, right? They don't work. And so if we understand that for just a moment, then I believe life can be very, very different for everyone, right? And so thinking about life for literally just a moment, thinking about how you go about your day. Do you take the steps necessary? Or do you get stuck in the mud? That's right. I said stuck in the mud. So, stuck in the mud basically means, do you have a challenge with your life? And it's not a challenge that you can't overcome. It's a challenge that gets stuck in your head because of one reason. You know what that reason is? That reason is all because of your mind, because of your belief. So, if we do these things before we get on what I want to call stage, because our life is a stage, right? What we do in private is off stage. What we do in front of people, that's on stage, right? And that might seem a little funny to you, but it's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. It is the truth. If we think about it from that kind of concept, then we know that our life is on stage when we're in front of people. But if when we're in front of people, we act as though we're on stage, great. When we go off stage, then we can do those things that we don't want to do in front of people. Not that they're bad, but remember, people are going to judge us and we don't want to be judged. And again, we don't have to accept that. But why should we even subject ourselves to that possibility? So remember, there's on stage, which is when you're with somebody and around somebody. Off stage is when you are alone. Disney, um, who I took courses from many times when I was younger, they had this concept called on stage and off stage. What the person sees, you know, in the park is on stage. Anything behind the doors, behind the scenery, that's off stage. And so you always have to know, like when they had an issue with an employee, they would always take them off stage. Because again, on stage is the premise that everyone sees what's going on. Department stores do this. They have an on stage and they have an off stage. If you've ever worked in a department store, what you see on the floor is really nice and really great. When you go off stage, I mean, they might have a nice little hallway because sometimes the customers can see the hallway. But once you get around the hallway, it's not as glitzy because it's off stage. And so they don't need to portray that image. I hope this helped you. So this whole week is dedicated to the point that you have the ability to improve your life if you take some of these steps to make sure that you jumpstart or kickstart your day. If you say, oh, John, I'm too tired, I want to kickstart my day. Right. You're going to do that today. You can do it tomorrow, the next day, and you're going to get into the cyclical pattern. That's why people gain weight. Oh, you know what? I'll just have the chocolate cake today. I'll have it tomorrow. Now, not the small piece. They'll have the big piece. But you know what? I feel like having a big piece tomorrow, another piece. And before you know it, they started gaining weight. I mean, that's really the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, been a pleasure, been an honor to be with you again this evening, as it is every single evening. I hope you'll choose to like, love, and support the channel. Definitely comment below. Has this kickstarting your life and your day helped you a little bit? Think about it. comment, tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. And then be sure, yes, ladies and gentlemen, to go below on my channel, John Space C Space Morley, Serial Entrepreneur on YouTube, and look for the PayPal link and make the choice to click on that and buy my team and I a delicious, savory watermelon, a refreshing vanilla cone, or a refreshing cooling drink on a summer day. Either way, we'll be grateful with those pennies and dollars. We'll invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, new facilities, and even staff to give you the most jaw-dropping motivational content ever. I thank you so much for popping in tonight. It has been a pleasure. I hope you learned something. Remember, before you start your day, prime your pump, and you'll never go dry. Thanks so much, and have yourself a great rest of your night. And I'll be back tomorrow with a completely new master topic. Take care, everyone.